We're up. We're live. Hey, Happy New Year, everyone.
We're just sitting here trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Like normal. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the first video, live video of the decade for us. So the first of many to come. Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Lord
yeah.
willing. So hope you guys all had a good New Year. I know many of you are still on New Year's holiday mode based on the traffic that I see going into Kingman.
Well, I am too. I still haven't really gotten over my nap, so I'm still in the holiday mode.
Well, you can solve that when we're done here.
Yeah.
So we had a fantastic, obviously, an amazing 2019, and it's due to many of you that are watching right now. We just want to, again, just thank you guys so much for all of the support, watching what we do, buying a few products now and again, and watching our videos, watching commercials. We couldn't keep doing what we do without you guys. So we're humbled and grateful for all of the support.
And we get comments from people who laud us as as being helpful to them and how much help they've got from our videos or what we do and the way we explain things. But we couldn't do what we do without your support. So we're just as grateful to you as a lot of you are to us that write us and tell us how grateful you are. We're just as grateful to you as you are to us.
That's for sure.
Dave, yes, he is a little hoarse. He's still got a little congestion going.
Oh, people are concerned about your voice. Did you put your hearing aid in, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
And I was just now thinking about that. I could take a minute and go get it, but...
Today is Tessa's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Tessa. Well, it's up to you. You can if you want to. I don't care.
Well, you got enough to talk about while I go for a
I'll
minute?
just move over and talk louder.
We'll just talk louder.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk louder.
Yeah, I have a new sound amplifier. It's not really a hearing aid, although it is, but it's a sound amplifier that just is tremendous. I take it out when I'm on my computer with my headphones. I take it out and I left it on my desk. I just didn't put it back
So
in.
is it one of those cones? That you
Yeah, I did one of those megaphone cones there. But
I'm just giving you crap.
It's really a sound amplifier, but it does a great job. I hear things that like I haven't heard things 30 or 40, 50 years, and I hear things clearer now than I did. Anyway, I just forgot to put it in.
Okay, so first things first, I want to. Oh, tonight we are the giveaway. We're giving away a wedding template set, our layout templates. So there's 10 different little layout templates in here. Somebody's going to win that. We're going to ask a trivia question here in a little while. Next, I got some exciting news from my guys, my buddies over at Lima Charlie. Matt Bay and Jeff Combs over there actually were gracious enough to grant us our own discount code. So this is a Lima Charlie shirt, and they've got so many cool things. They got a hoodie that I really want and some really cool hats. They just got tremendous stuff. They're veterans, and I really suggest you guys go out there and support them if you want some really cool gear like this. I love those guys. So
Do we have a link on our website to their website?
we do, but well, we don't right now, but I can put it in the description here. But it's Lima Charlie CC clothing company. LimaCharlieCC.com is their website. And if you want to buy anything on there, just put in make a wood sign. That is the discount code for 10% off. So thank you to Matt and Jeff over there and all you guys at Lima Charlie. Love you guys, and I love their stuff. So go check them out, guys. They're awesome. So that is that. So Dad is going to do a little talking about the importance of keeping your router bits clean and beyond.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. We got some.
Huh? Okay.
We got some router bits back from somebody. I don't even know who these came from. They didn't have a name on them. But the router bits are being sent back to be sharpened. And I can just look at them because I've been doing this for like 70 years. I can just look at them and I can tell that somebody has tried to touch these up either on just a plain grinding wheel or they use some sort of a flat diamond hone. But by doing what they did, they lost the cutting edge on them. And if you try to touch up and sharpen any cutting tool, and you don't know a little bit about tool geometry, then it's about 99% certain that you're going to screw up that cutting edge. You're going to completely lose the cutting edge, and it's just not going to cut. It might as well just be round. So be aware that there is not rocket science in sharpening these tools, and that's why we do them. I taught my son to do them. I've been doing, I was a machinist for so many years, and it's fairly simple for me, but I took a course early on in tool geometry, and so I know what the angles are that need to be on cutting edges in order to get them to cut. And if you don't know tool geometry, please don't try to touch these up. Send them back to us and let us do them for you. Otherwise, it's just going to screw them up. You're going to mess up a sign.
Or find a machine shop that'll do it
Yeah,
for
you can find a machine shop, or
A machinist that's got a diamond wheel.
Somebody that, even if you're using a green wheel, a carborundum wheel, you can sharpen carbide with a carborundum wheel. It's not as good as diamond, but it's you can still do it. But please don't, if you don't know a little bit about tool geometry, don't try to sharpen these tools yourselves. Either get somebody that knows how to do it, or if you watch a couple of videos that I made, I show a little bit about what the geometry is on those. So if you follow those instructions very carefully, you can sharpen these. It's just not that difficult. But if you don't, you're going to screw them up, and then you're going to have to send them back to others. You're going to have to buy new ones. Now you can send them back to us. We'll touch them up for you for just a few dollars, or you spend.
He's a premium member, so it's free
you spend
for him.
$30 to buy a new one. So at any rate, anybody that wants to do them, and that's as far as the cutting edge and sharpening. Now, when it comes to keeping them clean, there's a couple of ways. You can do it by hand. This is a brass brush, and you can do that. You can take this. You can use water. You can use acetone. You can use paint thinner if you want to, and just use a brush and brush them. You can't hurt the carbide with this brass brush. You can't hurt it at all. My favorite way to do it is, number one, get yourself some glasses. Always wear safety glasses when you're using this Dremel tool. And this little, I don't know if you can see this, this is a little brass brush, and when you're using this, you can't hurt the carbide with this. You can't. There's just no way. But if you use this every time you make a sign, and you take the router bit out of the router and change router bits or whatever, keep this thing handy and just run it across your cutting edge and run it down into the relief. But keep your router bits clean. If you keep them clean, they'll last twice as long, at least twice as long, sometimes a lot longer.
Why is that?
Well, it's simply because if you get resin from the wood, the pitch that's in the wood will build up on the router bit, and that will cause it to get hot. And the hotter it gets, the longer it stays hot, the faster the cutting edge will wear down. It's just, if you get down into the microscope part of it, a real hot cutting bit wears down pretty fast. But if you keep them clean, it's really very simple. It's not rocket science. But the main thing is to keep your router bits clean. Keep them sharp. If you know how to sharpen them, that's fine. If not, send them to us, and or get somebody a machine shop or somebody that will sharpen them for you. But the main thing is between signs, when you change your router bit and take it out of the router, touch it up with that brush, and you see they'll last 2 or 3 times as long. No word for it.
It's absolutely true.
Somebody
It
asked
definitely
if
will happen.
router bit prices have gone up yet.
No, we expect that our prices are going to increase sometime this month, but right now our router bit prices are the same. But we expect that Amana, which you guys, anybody that watches us much,
They've notified us that there's going to be a price increase.
in January sometime.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, so we don't know what we're going to have to increase our prices. But
Yeah.
we will know as soon as they let us know.
Jeff Callahan wants to know if you have any brass bits in our Amazon store.
Brass bits?
No, there is no such thing as a brass
No.
cutting bit.
No,
I've
not
been
a
a
router
machine.
bit.
I've been a machine. Huh?
Not a router bit.
No,
They might make a brass drill bit. I don't know.
no.
okay.
There's no reason to have it because
Too soft?
The steel, yeah, way too soft.
Yeah.
There's just no such thing that I know of. Now there are bits that have like a brass
it's a
bearing on
cleaning
the
bit.
bottom.
A cleaning bit.
Oh, maybe he's talking about the brush, the brass
he said
brush.
bits.
I don't know. Jeff, if you're talking about the brass brush, no, I think I just bought this
Brass
as Harbor.
bit is for the Dremel, he said.
Oh, the brass wheel. Then,
And somebody says he means brush.
yeah, the brass wheel. Actually, no, I don't think we do. I think I just got this down at Lowe's.
Yeah,
It's
Lowe's
a
has a
Dremel.
complete line of Dremel,
Dremel
accessories.
stuff. Yeah.
And we don't carry them in our
Yeah,
our
and
shop,
this
but-
is I just got this at Harbor Freight. So
But frankly, just go online and
Yeah.
put in Dremel accessories in an Amazon search, and
You'll
you'll
find
find
it.
all the Dremel tools.
yeah, Yeah.
Bull said he'd give you $100 for that hat.
Bull doesn't have enough money to buy this hat.
Actually, he said $9.
okay. Well, thank you, Dad. That was really
I know,
informative.
Bull, but I said 100.
It's been a while since we went over that, and so just so you
It's been
guys
a
know,
while since my voice was any kind of condition where I could talk for a while without it cracking
yeah, and
up.
even though you don't have your hearing aid in, you're actually talking a little bit lower than
That's
I'm
what
yelling.
trying- Yeah, you're yelling.
I'm yelling,
You
but
always
that's
do.
my
Well, that's the way
balls.
you talk.
That's what I do. Anyway, just so you guys know, if something happens that you do happen to do this, chances are we can fix them, and that's exactly what I'll do with these. It'll take some time, but I'll work on them and I'll get them fixed. This is a premium member, so but just going forward, if you guys don't know what you're doing on sharpening those bits, don't give it a try. Because it could end up being ugly.
Well,
but I think all of these I
if you
can
want
fix.
to do it now, if you want to do it, it's not really that difficult to do, but it takes a little practice to get good at it. And go back and watch those videos I made, and watch them several times and get an idea in your head as to what tool geometry is and what the angles are, and how the cutting edge is made with relief behind it. And you watch those videos multiple times. The truth is that it's not difficult to do. I mean, I taught him to do it.
I was doing it when I was just a kid.
Yeah, you
Although
were
I
13.
probably filled a trash can full of mistakes. I
But,
would think.
Bull.
It really isn't difficult to do, and I encourage everybody to learn how to do it. But just be careful when you do it. Don't do it until you learn what the angles are that you need to be aware of to make a cutting edge and get the relief behind the cutting edge so that the chip will clear. And that's really all there is to it. It's not rocket science. It's really not difficult to do, but it does take practice.
He's here to send it to you pros. It's Butch.
Okay.
Somebody asked and I know
Yeah.
you gotta go on. Somebody asked real quick how Ryan's healing.
Do you want to answer or you want me to?
He's doing well. He's doing really well, actually. He started physical therapy. He's getting a little antsy, but he is starting to kind of get out and do some signs. He is on crutches now, not the wheelchair.
I think kind of half and half.
Yeah.
He's
He's got exercises that he has to do at home, but he's still going to be off for a few months. So
yeah. I think
he's
we're
doing
gonna
good.
go over and see him. Sometime in the next
Yeah,
month or
we'll
so.
put him on the camera and put him on the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it with that.
When you're using a Dremel, use those glasses.
Yeah.
Those little pieces of brass that come off of there, they'll go into your eye in an instant, and there's nothing you can do about it. So just they don't come off very easy, but they will come off. So wear those glasses when you're using that to clean those router bits.
All right, well, we'll tell him you said hi. Billy McGee said, "Happy birthday, Miss Vicky. Sweet 16 looks good on you." I wouldn't want to be 16 again for nothing in the world.
Billy McGee, man, I saw
Jeff Callahan said he's praying for him.
Billy
Yeah,
McGee
sliced it
opened
out
up
with
his
I think it was his.
his finger
Finger,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
He's
Oh my
talking
gosh,
about
it
it
was
on-
horrible. So just about an hour ago, Randy Brown on Facebook asked if I could show the sanders that I'm using, and you guys, I think on Monday you'll see me using this sander. So, in case you guys hadn't heard or hadn't known, what the heck did I do with it? I am pretty much not even using belt sanders anymore. Since I found this thing and learned how to use it, this thing is just it. If I had ever used this before a belt sander, I never would have picked up a belt sander. This thing is just amazing. It literally cuts at least in half your sanding on your signs. Cuts it at least in half. Once you kind of get a feel for it and learn how to use
What's the
it.
learning curve in learning how to use this without gouging the face of your sign?
Having well, as far as time goes, or
About
actual-
just what's the learning curve? How long does it take you to learn not to screw up a sign?
probably
Not very long, because
no.
I do it. I use it.
Vicky
on my
uses it.
tables.
So the big thing is to have a light touch with it. This thing takes off so much wood so fast that you really have to have a light touch with it, and you have to kind of use the edge. You don't want to set it flat like that because then it'll want to go everywhere. You want to have a little bit of a tilt to it, whether you're using this edge or that edge or this edge. You kind of want to use the edge, not too much like that. But so it takes probably, I don't know, half hour of
Have
solid.
you made a video on the use of that yet?
I have, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, a few of them. And on Monday's video, you'll see me using this on that on the big sign. In fact, I was going to show that sign. It's
Is
almost.
that our Amazon store? Did I put that in there?
I think this is on the Amazon store. This is model is DWE 6401DS
And it's
disc
a DeWalt,
sander.
Yeah.
DeWalt. And then what I do after I'm done with that, most of the time I will smooth it all out. This is a 40 grit on here, but actually, honestly, an 80.
Is that an 80? When I used it, I changed it to an 80.
Well,
80.
I think this
Oh,
might be
that's
the 80. And this is an 80. I think this is a 40 on here, and this is an 80. So I use a combination of these. And
So you sand, rough sand to get the bulk of it off, and then you go back and finish sand.
that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so this pretty much has replaced my belt sanders. And I'm telling you, once you get used to using this thing, it is so fast.
And it's really
It just-
light. Your belt sander's heavy. For
Yeah.
me, I couldn't use the belt sander, but this is really
That's a good
light.
point. I hadn't thought about that aspect of it, but that really is a good point. But it is an amazing tool for doing what we do as far as sanding goes. Literally, at least in half. I would say probably cuts it by 75% your sanding time.
Bruce Peter asked, can you use the same paper on both sanders? Yes.
Yes. Yep. Exactly the same. 5-inch disc. Exactly the same. Yep. And this cleans off with the belt the belt
The
sanding
rubberized belt
yeah.
cleaner.
Yeah, the belt cleaner.
Rachel says hi, parentals.
Hey, Rach. Love with this little sander.
Okay, Dave, where did you get your hat? He's had it forever.
I got this hat.
Probably at
One
one
of
of
the
the
gift
casinos or a gift shop.
Yeah, back in the days when I used to go to the casino, that's probably where I got it. And as soon as I saw it, I had to have it, so I got it. I've never seen one like it anywhere. But it's
At the time, Larry, the cable guy, was super
Yeah.
yeah, it
super
was
popular.
Super popular.
Yeah.
And
But
it
there's,
just-
you know, they got those places in the mall here in Bullhead that literally has hundreds and hundreds of different hats.
that store closed.
Well, it didn't. But
Yeah.
I mean, you used to be able to go in there and I could look for an hour just at hats.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a hat
Oh, I'm
freak.
sorry.
But anyway,
That's probably where it
I
came
bought it. It's been, I know it's been 8 or 10 years, and I got it.
Probably at one of the
I
casino.
think probably at
shops.
one of the casinos.
Sean Taylor said, I got my first order yesterday. Thank you, Vicky, Eric, and Dave. You guys are awesome. Shipping was so fast. Can't wait to get started.
Hey, that's
you,
the way to
Sean.
go, John.
Natalie Watson, I got a new sander this week. It's a combo belt disc sander. I got it at Harbor Freight.
Okay. Yep. That's a stationary belt and a disc. Those are pretty cool.
All right, John. And John, I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up your last name. It's Jaudzems. Says, good day from Latvia.
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 I
Wow.
don't know where that is.
That's a long ways away.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Where
Latvia.
is that?
Well, it's got to
from?
be over by the Ukraine in that.
Wow.
It's a European country.
Oh
It's
my
got to be
gosh.
Latvia and Ukraine. Something in my memory tells me that that's part of what I think is at one time part of the USSR. Before that was all broke
Like
up.
in Hungary and
Yeah,
over
in that
that
area over there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Wow.
Latvia, that's
Wow.
amazing.
Randy Brown says, where can I get a cleaning block?
Oh, you know what?
Don't
We have those in our
store?
Amazon store.
What's
Yep. The sanding belt cleaner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's not in our Amazon store, you can just type in sanding belt cleaner in Google and you'll see 1,000 different results.
Yeah,
for it.
Amazon will have them for sure.
Oh yeah, and I think we got them in our Amazon store.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All it is really is crepe rubber. If you have an old pair of shoes with a crepe rubber sole, you got a sanding belt cleaner because the crepe rubber on the old shoes is exactly the same stuff that they use to make those blocks to clean belts. It's just
I've never heard the term crepe rubber.
well,
Crepe?
Yeah,
Like-
crepe.
like crepe paper?
CREPE, crepe.
Okay.
When I was a kid, crepe soled shoes were fairly common.
Okay.
Of course, that's been when I was a kid, and that was when
A while back.
Jesus was still walking around.
Yeah.
All right.
He probably had some of those.
But crepe soles on shoes is exactly the same stuff that they make that belt cleaner out of. So if you have an
Interesting.
old pair of shoes with the crepe soles, you got a belt cleaner.
Good to know.
It's funny, when I was a kid, my mom used to make us wear Oxfords with
Yeah.
our dresses and stuff, and I hated them. So we used to drag our feet to wear down that rubber sole. But Mom got us because Dad worked at the prison, and he took them to the prison, and they resold
They
them.
resold
like
them.
those
They had
best
cobblers
crepe.
out there.
And
Yeah.
so we had not only ugly Oxfords, they looked horrible. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, let's don't get into
Yeah.
to reminiscing, things
We're
that
gonna
went
run
on.
out of
Ask
time.
a
I think so
question.
many times about things that went on when I was a teenager that people nowadays just wouldn't
Okay.
understand or even relate to. But some of my senior moments I go over occasionally. I
Todd
go over
Powell
stuff.
says, do I need a new profile bit? I burnt the tip of mine.
Todd, try and clean it first. You know, maybe you don't. Try and clean it first. If that doesn't work, I'll email me a picture of it and let me see it. If you didn't break it, if you just burnt it, chances are it's not ruined. It just needs to be sharpened and cleaned. So chances are, unless you hit a rock with it or you broke it somehow, chances are, and even if you have, I've fixed those as well. So chances are it's fixable.
Prisoners working on your shoes, they might steal them. And we got, hold on.
Make a pocket for a shiv.
Yeah. A.E. Miller, and I don't know who that is, I'm sorry. Got my first order. Thanks for the fast shipment. Can't wait to try to make my first sign. Rob Rokon is here from
Awesome.
Canada. We also have some others from other countries, but it's way up there. And I'm afraid if I go up and look again, it's the
You might-
Ian and
Oh yeah, from Europe. Yeah, from Europe probably.
We're
Jason.
gonna have to get a global map out here and
We
put it up
should,
and have
okay.
Pins in
pins of.
That's a great
That's
idea.
a good idea. So John
That's a great.
from
Latvia.
Latvia
Latvia.
says, look for Finland, top of the Baltic Sea. Come south through Estonia, and you're in Latvia.
That's good to know. I'm gonna look that
I'll,
up.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah. Somebody asked, and it's a good,
Wow, that's
good
awesome.
question. Brad and Diana are in Australia, and
Yeah.
I know some of our other customers are in Australia.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Brad and Diana are okay. I know they didn't celebrate New Year's because of everything going on.
Yeah.
And it's tough over there, so you guys keep them in your prayers.
Yeah. It's just tragic.
It's terrible
absolutely
over there. It's like,
heartbreaking.
yeah.
Heartbreaking.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
The
I'm
fires.
sorry.
You know, there's
let's-
fires going on in Australia.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing.
like,
It's just
they said there
absolutely.
was over 300,000 animals that have died.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
the part
tragic.
that really
and
just.
it was caused by lightning. It wasn't caused by somebody. It was
Yeah.
a lightning.
Just-
so
Well,
which is
you know,
so
and,
sad.
and the truth is, we only have a history of, a few hundred or a few thousand years, but this literally has been going on for millions of years.
yeah, I know, but
And it happens, but it's still tragic. When we
Still breaks
lose
your heart.
installations and houses and people and animals and things that we grew up with and familiar with, and it's all gone. It's
Right.
going to take years to get it back.
Yeah. Frank.
Bob Rhoten says it's heartbreaking to see the devastation in Australia, especially the loss of the koala bears.
Yeah.
Stephen Toronto, how close are we to Bullhead? About 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 20
Yeah.
miles away.
Vicky used to work in
On
Laughlin,
Laughlin, which
Right.
is right across the river.
the other side of the river.
Frank said the last he heard, he said that he thinks the last he heard is that there have been 18 deaths, which is tragic in itself,
Yeah.
but it's also a miracle that there's not more.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay.
Okay. So moving on. Are we ready to move on, or you have more questions?
John from Latvia.
Latvia.
That's it. Says,
Yeah.
my son lives in Sydney and now second week off work with respiration problems. I would imagine that's huge.
Yeah, that's another problem with all the smoke. Is just
Is-
causing a lot of people respiration problems that just exacerbates the
Yeah.
tragedy of the fires themselves.
Jason Harrison says, "Is your finger better?" I think that wasn't Eric that got his finger cut. That was Billy McGee.
Oh yeah, Billy McGee. Maybe he's asking Billy.
Well, he's asking how is Eric's
Yeah. No, my
finger?
digits are okay right now.
Okay.
And mine too.
Yeah.
Let's do
Here's a
the
growth
draw
back.
the thing because we're almost out of time.
No, there's one other thing I've got to share. So you guys, tomorrow morning is Dad's Senior Moments, episode 18, I think. You guys have to watch this. We have come up with a breakthrough that is a game changer. I'm going to give you a little bit of an inkling of it, but you guys know that normally on our signs we use ink and primer, never paint. But check this out. This is paint. And tomorrow morning, Dad and I are going to be showing you guys the whole process of this. It's absolutely a game changer for getting color down in the groove.
Yeah, it's gonna really change your whole thinking on making signs with color.
Yep. So you guys have to watch tomorrow morning. And that's all we're going to say.
And when you're making signs for customers and you're allowing them the choice of colors, it's going to make a tremendous difference in your total sales.
Yep.
All right, ask the question and then we've got a couple more questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, on the trivia?
Yes.
Okay. So the trivia question, domestic only.
Right now.
Right now, we may be
change.
working on an international thing, but right now it's domestic only for the wedding set. There's a $25 value. Here is the trivia question. What was the top grossing movie of 2019? I'll give you a multiple choice. Lion King, Avengers Endgame, or Jumanji Next Level? What was the top grossing movie of 2019? That's
Oh,
just
Gary,
not,
you're wrong.
that's just
Rachel, Nicole, Darren Smith, you won. Rachel, Nicole, you cannot win. Darren Smith says the Avengers.
Avengers Endgame is the answer, probably by a lot. But all
Can
right,
you write
Darren Smith, right? Congratulations.
We're going to go back because there were a couple more questions. John from
Yes.
there it says, I got my first sign finished for Christmas. Thanks for all of the information from your videos, etc. Info and pictures coming your way soon. Thanks a million for supporting wood sign makers.
Well, thank you, John. We're just humble that you spend some time with us and take any time watching what we do.
What Jason is talking about with your finger, when you put that router base plate, or you were doing something and you poked your finger on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm all healed up. Thank you, Jason. I was doing a demo on something, and I put the base. I thought I didn't realize the bit was sticking out that far, and I just poked a hole. But my hands are like sieves.
3 a.m. Crafts. She's new. She says, I'm new to sign carving. Approximately, how often do you need to get bits sharpened, and how would I know if they need to be? Signs just not carving well anymore.
Okay, so there's a lot of factors that go into it. It depends on what kind of wood you're using, what bits you're using. Really, if they're our router bits, but a lot of it has to do with the wood. It has to do with what kind of router you've got. So generally speaking, if there are bits, the profile bit you're going to get somewhere, if you're using soft stuff like cedar, pine, redwood, softwood, 20 to 30 signs. So then if you go with a 90-degree bit, you're going to get a lot more than that, probably twice that amount, because there's more meat there. It's a wider cutting bit. The 60, about the same, probably 30 to 40 signs, something like that. But again, there's a lot of variances. There's a lot of factors that come into play.
The depth of your bit, sometimes the depth that you're carving will determine it too. But if your bit cuts and throws out a chip, that means it's still cutting pretty good. If you see any smoke coming off of it, or if you take the router bit up and you see a black mark where the router bit was working, that means that it's burning and it's no longer cutting clean.
Move your hand away from me.
It's no longer cutting clean. A lot of times you can help that by cleaning the router bit, but once it gets dull, then it'll still cut. You'll have to pull harder, and you'll see smoke because it'll actually be burning.
And it could be burring up down in the groove or at the surface of the board. That's another indication. Not always, because some boards will just do that even with a sharp bit.
Yeah,
so that's not always the case.
If you have a board that's really wet, a lot of times it'll kind of burr up down in the cut. So
yeah,
there's a lot of things that will determine whether or not the router bit is ready to be sharpened. But main thing is, if it's cutting and throwing out a chip and it's not smoking, it's still in good shape.
And I did a video not that long ago. If you want to send me an email, I'll send you a link to it. I did a video where Vicky actually zoomed in on the router bit, and right on the edge, if you look at it, once it's clean, if you look at the edge, and I know Dad doesn't necessarily go by this, but I do. If I right on the edge, not behind it, not in front of it, but right on the edge, and I'll send you the video. If you want to send me an email and you want a link to that video, I'll send it to you. But Vicky did a great job at zooming in on that router bit and showing you exactly what it looks like when it's dull. It literally is shiny. So if you were looking at it through a microscope, it really would be rounded over, and that's what makes it shiny. So I did a really good video on that.
Okay.
All right. So no. Okay. Somebody says, Harold Jones says, people are typing the answer before the questions is asked. They always do that. It just does.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Halibut.
Halibut, yeah. Ask Bull. Do you carve or make other objects other than sign carving?
I do.
Well,
I make
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we have lasers, so we do. Actually, the other part of our business, we have the main part of our business is sign carving and sign carving supplies, but we have another half of our business where we actually make stuff and sell it on Amazon, and we've done videos on that too, wooden letters, numbers. But do I make other things and sell? That's a tough question,
Okay,
honestly.
Well, like I use the laser and I make stuff out of acrylic, like the base plates.
Yeah.
I make those.
The router bit depth gauges.
And the router base depth gauges, and there's another little thing for
These
somebody
are what we make.
and somebody that wants a blank base to fit on their routers. I make a little alignment jig.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little different things that I make with the laser simply because I have it and I have the capabilities of doing it. So
Okay, Butch White says, please do a portrait sign sometime. Trying to figure out doing a picture of the family. We don't do that.
Well, I haven't done it, but I've wanted to. But with Rapid Resizer, you can convert a photograph into a line drawing. Basically, I haven't got to that, Butch. That is something that's on my list.
and there's a lot of guys, even some of our
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah,
a lot
that
of
are
our
doing
people that have sent us pictures for the sign cover of the day. Have sent us pictures of things like Clint Eastwood and John Wayne
Yeah.
and all kinds of pictures that they do with the router. They're like portraits.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
certainly possible. I just never. It's like I've always got a lot of stuff to do that is pretty high on my priority, and that's not one of them. So I just haven't got into that.
Well, and frankly, back in the day when you were doing a lot of the carving, that technology of taking a photograph and converting it to a line drawing, it just didn't exist.
Right.
Not that we knew of.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the internet back then, so
Okay, let's see. Somebody asked, and apparently they're having problems seeing. The winner of the template set is Darren Smith. Darren Smith won the trivia question. Okay.
Okay. All right. So a couple things, a couple announcements. Don't forget, if you guys want to be in the sign carving directory, then send your information to Vicky or to me. Email us and put a couple pictures of your work in there so we can, make sure that what you do is applicable for the directory, and we'd be happy to add you to the list. Vicky's actually doing a lot of work on that, and that's not anything we charge for. It's just something that we're putting together. So that's that. Don't forget, 2 weeks from today, we'll be doing the drawing for people that are interested in coming to our class in March. We'll be doing a class for 6 students here on the property, one-on-one with me and Dad and maybe Ryan. I'm not sure of that. But we're all going to be here. So,
Well, you and I and Vicky and Rachel,
yeah, the whole team.
our whole team will be here. If Ryan can make it over from California, that's fine. But otherwise, we'll all be here.
And that is that for the weekend. It's a Saturday, Sunday, March 23rd, 24th, or 22nd, 23rd. I can't remember. But we could only take 6 attendees with or without their spouses.
And I'll be drawing the names of those 6 that are eligible to come. I'll be drawing those names out.
Yeah,
on the
so
17th.
being as we get so many people that want to come, we just literally do a drawing like to the people to the 6 that we can handle, because that's really all we can handle at one time. So it's $200 for the weekend. That includes food and swag and all kinds of stuff. And if the spouse wants to come along, then that's fine. Vicky will be doing probably a resin class with the spouse, and that's just an extra $100. But that's whether you want to bring your spouse, that's fine. Anyway, there'll be a lot more details coming up. But if you want to get in on that drawing, we're doing it 2 weeks from tonight. And
Bull wants that hat. Tell him to shush.
he's really harping on the hat.
Yeah, Bull, you do need to bring your tattoo stuff when you guys come to visit, though.
So that is, 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be doing that drawing. And we're getting a pretty good list of people. So, by the way, only brand new for the spring class, only people that haven't been to a class before is available to come to this class. In the fall, we'll be doing another one that's open for everybody, whether you've been to a previous class or not. So, gosh, I think that's about it. Any other questions? Anything we need to answer?
I'm afraid to go up too much. No, afraid can't go.
And just so you understand, Bull, my hat is not for sale.
And you ain't big enough to take it.
Send me
I can tell you
email.
that.
If you want to sign up for the drawing of the class, send me an email. Eric will put a link to my email address in the description.
Vicky with DaveSigns@gmail.com.
Bo wants to know if halibut tastes like chicken. No,
It's much
like
better.
halibut, yeah.
It's much better than chicken.
Billy McGee says, I don't have a spouse. Can I bring someone else's spouse?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Spouse, child,
Okay.
whatever. Your dog. No, not your dog. You can't bring your dog.
Bill says, Billy, you can bring mine.
Okay, I guess that's it, guys. So, thanks again for watching. Oh, if you have questions, if we missed, if, somewhere in there you asked a question that we didn't get to, email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I answer questions a lot. So, email me, Vicky with DaveSigns@gmail.com, Dave@DaveSigns.com. Dave@DaveSigns.com. Yep. He's got the official website.
Right.
We're all flunkies. Okay, I guess that's it. Dad, anything else you want to close with?
No, I can't think of anything. We've pretty much covered what I wanted to get out this time. There's a lot of things that I can discuss that coming up, and things that were done, and things that I'm going to do. But we'll discuss them as time goes on. We're on every Friday.
Next month, by the way, in February 23rd, I think, Vicky and I will be in Atlanta. We'll be doing a meetup there. I can't remember. Yeah, Workbench Con. We're going to be in. So if you guys are in and
Did you
around.
say hi to JC?
I didn't know JC was there.
I came in late.
JC, how are you, my friend? It's great to hear from you. How's things up north? All right, so we'll be in Atlanta next month. We'll talk about it next week. I'm going to start doing that. We want to put together a meetup. That is it, guys. Happy New Year. Hope 2020 is your best year yet. We have some really exciting stuff coming up, so stay tuned. We love you, and don't forget, watch tomorrow morning. You're going to like this video. So have a great one, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Guys.
Good night.